Hey guys, it's Elisa, not Alyssa, and today I'm going to be teaching you the difference between perché, come mai, e a far cosa in Italian. Okay, so I just wanted to do this quick video today to give you another option. Instead of saying why, instead of saying perché, I mean in Italian, you can also use another word. So luckily we don't have to worry about the grammar here because in English when we say why did you do that and how come you did that, the grammar actually changes a little bit. So luckily we don't have to worry about this in Italian because in Italian you can tell that something's a question just by your tone. You don't need to reverse the words in order to get that it's a question. So if you want to say why did you go to the library, you can say perché sei andato in biblioteca. Why did you go to the library? The equivalent of how come is come mai. This is pretty easy to remember because we have the word how come, so come and come are spelled the same way, so it's kind of easy to remember because of that. It's pretty much used in the same way. How come you went to the library? Or how come you're at the library? So we basically use it in the same way. In English, how come is a little bit less formal. In my opinion, it's harder to say how come with anger, and it's hard to be accusatory saying how come. It's kind of easier to add different types of emotions when you're saying the word why, but that's just the way that I see it. I'm not sure if that's a universal thing. The only difference is that if you say come mai, like how come, which I think it's actually the same thing in English, when you're really curious about something, when someone does something and you're like, oh, how come? Instead of why. Like why can sometimes sound more accusatory, like I said. How come is more, I'm really curious. So the grammar is the same. You can literally just insert come mai where perché would be. So like in English, how come and come mai are a little bit less formal. So you wouldn't say how come in a paper, in an essay. You wouldn't say how come. And you wouldn't say come mai in Italian either. But if you're not writing very formal things, and that doesn't really matter, but just to let you know that it is slightly less formal, but you pretty much use it in the same way. In Italian, how come it's easier to say how come in an accusatory way, whereas it's kind of less common in English. Basically, why means perché, how come means come mai, and the last one we have is what for. So what for is something we don't really use that much in English, but it is used, and if you want to know a way to say in Italian, you can say a couple of things. So you can say per cosa. So if I have a friend who's not a student, but he's at the library, and it's kind of uncommon for him to go there, and I ask him, where are you? And he says, I'm at the library. And I'm like, what for? To do what? So it's kind of the same thing. We can say per cosa, what for? It's pretty much a direct translation. It's a direct translation with the words reversed. What for? Per cosa? Per quale motivo? Per quale motivo? For what reason, I guess. What is the motivation for why you're at the library? But some examples that are really useful are a fare che. So if it's an action and you want to know why they did that thing, you can say a fare che. Like, I went to the library. Sono andato in biblioteca. A fare che. Like, to do what? And if it's more like an object, if we're talking about an object, like I bought a math book, like what for? Ho comprato un libro di matematica. I bought a math book. Per fare cosa. When we're talking about an action, we say a fare cosa, like you went to a place. So a fare cosa, because we will often use a as the preposition for places, with exception for the example I'm using, which is library. We say in biblioteca, not a. But usually you will use a. So a fare cosa is for places and actions, whereas per fare cosa is more for objects, things. I bought a math book. Ho comprato un libro di matematica. Per fare cosa, like to do what with it. That's basically the idea. So, you know, using perché is just the easiest option. If you're not sure and you just want to use perché, you can. But if your intention was to say how come, you can easily say come mai. There's no problem with that. It's not really gonna cause you any problems. The last one, what for, is a slightly more complicated. So if you're not sure about it, then don't use it. But if you use it in a situation like the example I'm giving you, then it could be useful and it can kind of, you know, diversify what you're saying, so you're not just saying the word perché every 2 seconds. So if you want to make it sound a little bit different, then that could be a useful word. So yeah, this is just a quick video, hopefully, because we all know that my videos are incredibly long. I didn't go extremely into depth because I want to see what happens when I don't make a video that's like 15 minutes long. So let me know if you guys prefer shorter videos or longer videos. Do you want me to go extremely in depth with like tons of examples, or do you want me to just do quicker videos where I give one example and tell you the general rule. This is just a quick one. If this wasn't enough information for you, just let me know and I'll do a part 2 or something just to give you more examples and explain further. But if that was useful, please let me know so I know what type of videos are the most helpful for you guys. Maybe you guys don't want to sit there and listen to me for 20 minutes. Anyway, I'm rambling as always. So that's it. If you like this video, give me a thumbs up, and I love reading your comments and responding to them. I respond to pretty much every comment I get, so leave me a comment letting me know if it was useful for you, and if there are other things you want me to make a video on. If you have any requests at all, leave me a comment, or you can tweet me or DM me on Instagram or Twitter. By the way, follow me on Instagram. Please subscribe to my channels for more videos on learning Italian and learning English and culture and a bunch of other stuff. If you guys are interested in private tutoring from me specifically, you can email me at itsalisa.alyssa@gmail.com and we will schedule a private lesson. And that's pretty much it, guys. Thanks for hanging out with me today, and I'll see you in my next video. Bye! I have work in 4 minutes. I should probably go.